There is another punctuation mark we call the inverted commas. We've been coming across it all this while, what we normally call the quotation marks. They are used, one, to enclose the actual words, that's the direct speech from the speaker, or a quotation that you have taken from a book. I've given an example here. He said, I shall go if possible. Again, it can be used to introduce the title of a book, a play, a poem, and so on, Shakespeare's Macbeth. Again, you can use it to indicate a foreign word. When you're writing, especially in your essay, you're using a local word that you know is not well known, but you have to use it, so you can put it in quotation mark. Such things, they are tete-a-tete, lasting the word illegible is wrongly used. So you can note the quotation. We have been using it all along, so I believe that this should not pose any problem at all. What we should know is that there is quotation within a quotation, and when these happens, we must differentiate between them by the use of single or double inverted comma. Please, here I must emphasize the fact that consistency matters. When you use the single quotation mark to open a quotation, close it with single quotation mark. When you use a double quotation mark to open, close it with a double quotation mark. And a quotation within a quotation, the first one is a single quotation mark. Then the inserted one that is enclosed in between the quotation mark, we have to start with double. You close that one with double first before you close the single one. It's important to make that case. I've shown an example here. Smith says, suddenly I heard a voice shout, who is there? Or it says, Smith said, suddenly I heard a voice shout, who is there? It depends on the quotation mark. Whether it's double or single, you can use anyone. However, with quotation within quotation, you have to note it, please. Then you can use the quotation mark for paragraph in conversation, especially when you're talking of drama. A new paragraph should be started for each new speaker. However, previous speak. Those of us who are fond of writing narrative speeches and you want to insert dialogue, this will come in handy for you. So when you're doing your own place, make sure that you do the right thing. The next one is the popular punctuation mark, the question mark. Practically everybody understands this, but in most cases, when we ask questions, we fail to put the correct punctuation mark, which is the question mark. Hence, we put full stop, and that's why we have to remind us. Question marks are not required in indirect speeches. Whenever you write indirect speeches, or reported speeches, you don't put a question mark. Example here is given. He asks them what he wants to do. The direct speech is, what am I to do? That's an actual question. But you're now reporting it and it's been turned into indirect speech. He asks them what he wants to do. So you don't need a question mark in that. While for the direct speech, you put a question mark. The next one is exclamation mark. Exclamation marks is used to mark the end of an exclamatory word after an interjection, and a comma may be used if a sudden emotion or sudden pause is not indicated. Ha! Comma, that is, instead of putting the exclamation mark, you put a comma. My dear fellow, you end it, that's the next page. He said, shaking hands. On the other hand, you can write this way, her, the exclamation mark, my dear Steve, exclamation mark, he cried, greeting me effusively. So please, effusively, check carefully all the way we have used this so that you now practice how to use your own. The next punctuation mark is a dash. A dash is longer than the hyphen. So please make sure that you know the difference between the two. A dash is used to indicate an aside or an afterthought, something that you can easily put in a bracket. Is a count at the back, then the dash, and I'm telling you this in strict confidence. The dash is overdrawn. You see, is a count at the back is overdrawn is the actual sentence. But and I'm telling you this in strict confidence, it's just an interjection, an aside, an afterthought. You've started saying it before you realize that you need to say something else in between. So this can be introduced by using the dash. Again, you can use it to summarize a series of subjects or to expand a subject. Example, men, women, children, boats, then the dash, all were lost. You can also use it to indicate broken speech, where you are hesitating. Example, I think that you're right. So when you're thinking and you don't know what to say in the next thing, you can use the dash to indicate the like buses there. Again, you can use the dash to show a sudden breaking of, of a statement. He eventually escaped. And you will have stopped instead of continuing. So, but I must tell you the rest of the story later. Please know how to use your own dash. You can use the dash to introduce an unexpected or emphasized ending. For example, when the great man of whom we had had so much finally appeared, we were surprised to see a dwarf. So you see, it's an unexpected, or you want to emphasize the end of the thing, what people don't realize was coming. So you can use the dash to introduce it. Likewise, it can be used to indicate the omission of a name or of a word or part of a word. Example, Mr. Fu. So you can just use that. The next one that we're going to look at is the dots. We call it the three dots. When you put the three dots, one, two, three. These are used sometimes as an alternative to dashes to show broken speech or to show sudden breaking of a statement. If you check your comprehension passage, most of the time you find this in a question, especially when you want to ask questions concerning figure of speech and grammatical structure. You realize that they bring the quotation to you and they insert the dots to show that this is brought or copied from part of a sentence, of a longer sentence. So you find these examples there. You can go and check and note it. The last act takes place in Spain. I've given an example, but you must set a play for yourself. So to say the way. We have yet another punctuation mark that's known as brackets, or what you normally call a parenthesis. Brackets are sometimes used instead of dashes to enclose a parenthesis. We know the brackets, we all know this, so we need to do too much on it. That's an additional remark, an example, an aside. They are best suited to mathematics or technical articles. So we should just be careful how you use them. That's all I'm going to say. Example is sum. You have insert the bracket a complete full, I fear. Close the bracket was also there. Be careful how you use the brackets, please. Then the next one is a hyphen. A hyphen is a word that's used to form compound words. I told you before it's shorter than the dash. So you use it to join words together to form compounds. So an example is as you use it in mother-in-law, then the birdcage or semi-detached. Then the next one is an apostrophe. Apostrophe is just exactly like a single quotation mark, but it is used to show possession. That's the difference. It is used to show possession, where the quotation mark is used to show direct speech on the others. An apostrophe is used to show possession, e.g., the farmer's wife. It is used to indicate the omission of a letter or letters which occurs in conversation and poetry. For example, it's a pity. Instead of writing it is a pity. It's a pity. Like writing am, I apostrophe M, instead of writing I am. Please never use an apostrophe in the possessive adjective, which is its, its. For example, the dog wagged its tail. That shows possessive, that's a possession. Or for the possessive pronoun as, is, yes. And that is why whenever you write a subscript, the ending of the letter, you want to close it, you write yours faithfully or yours sincerely. The yours is with an apostrophe. Please, I repeat, the yours is yours, no apostrophe because it is possessive. So please learn this. Don't use the apostrophe when you write in the possessive adjective, its and so on. That's the possessive adjective. We call it possessive pronouns. So please be careful. That's for possessive pronouns. Okay, to form the plural of letters and of numbers written in figures. For example, in the 1980s, how many C's? Wanted to say how many credits? How many C's do you have? Here is the big man, the capital letter, that many candidates normally misuse. Capital letters are used for proper nouns. That's the names of people and places like John, Smith, London, Nigeria, and so on. You use capital letter for titles, Oba of Lagos, Ochidoma, Emma of Kano, and the likes. You use capital letter for countries or inhabitants of countries and for languages. If, for example, for countries, you have England, you have Nigeria, you have Ghana, Cameroon, you have Egypt, and so on. You have Canada. And for inhabitants, you can have the English, or a Nigerian, an Arab, and so on, a French. And you use it for adjectives connected with countries, places, and people. You have a Lagos character, an American garden. You can use it for the names of months and days, such as January, February, March, April, May, June, July. All these ones begin with capital letter. Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Saturday, Sunday all begin with capital letter. Please note all this. You can use it for God. When you write God, the big one who created the heaven, the earth, and everything. And you can use the capital letter for Christ when you want to write Christ, Jesus Christ. And pronouns or adjectives referring to either of those two words. You can say garden is mercy, and for Christians as noun or adjective, you say Christian. And likewise, the Bible is written with capital letter B, while Quran is written with capital letter Q. Please note. We can also use the capital letter in titles of books and plays and so on. The important words are usually given in capital letters. Example, we have a new Oxford Secondary English course. You can see new Oxford English course, which is the title of a book, is written each word beginning with capital letter. And then you can use capital letters for words used in a special sense, which requires to a discrete capital. And also capital letters are used to give special emphasis. For example, what the church now as a whole says about this problem is important. You're not talking of the church as a whole. So please do not confuse it was Admiral Nursing. Admiral here begin with capital letter, which is the title of Mr. Nursing, title of an individual, and the many admirals whose portraits you see. Now, admirals here is used in the general sense representing class. Likewise, when we write states of the federation, or 36 states of the federation, you're writing states. But the moment you say Lagos State, or you say Kaduna State, or you say maybe the River State or Abia State, you now have to be very careful and start with capital letters. for both words that you have used. Now, please, dear students, listen and listen very carefully. In most cases, teachers don't teach this particular punctuation mark. It is assumed that you should know it. You can only find in many of the textbooks that are published. People don't make mention of it. But let me just talk about it because it can make or mar whatever it is you're writing. The punctuation mark is called space. Space is an emptiness. So, but space, as we have it, even though it's an emptiness, is a crucial aspect of writing. It is inevitable in writing because between words, between lines, between paragraphs, there are spaces. Even when we say it, there are spaces. So that distinguishes the first person from the second person. When we are not Siamese twins joined together, co-joined, when there's no space. But the moment we are individuals, we must have space. So these spaces are meaningful in writing. If a space is created where it should not be, Or if a space is not created where necessary, there's a change in meaning. The word you are writing, the meaning will be misinterpreted, to be mistaken. So, in fact, some people are so careless in writing that they distort, they change, they mess up, and destroy their message because they don't give a hoot about a space. You see people squeezing words together. This is either out of sheer ignorance or probably contempt of space. Maybe we should examine the impact of space and the expression of meaning in some sentences. Maybe we'll be able to understand better. Example one, I have written the same sentence in two ways. The book is nowhere. The book is nowhere. The book is nowhere. Check nowhere. Nowhere is without space. It's written together as a single word. Nowhere. However, look at the second sentence where we now put a separation, a space in between the word, the letters of nowhere. The book is now here. Now, nowhere has been broken into two. It has now become NOW, then HER with a space in between. So now, if you're saying you cannot find the book and you put it as a second sentence, the book is now here, you can see that the meaning you have given is going to be a wrong one, and you cannot blame or fault the audience or the recipient of the word. It means communication has not been achieved. Another example of the use of space is this. It may be little, I don't care. It may be little, I don't care. The second sentence, it may be little, I don't care. It may be little, I don't care. First one, it may be little, I don't care. The second one is maybe little, I don't care. The first one is saying that even if it is small, you don't care. But the second sentence is saying if it reduces here, if it brings down, if it is derogatory, if it is defamatory, something that can embarrass you, if it shrinks, so if it reduces your stature, your esteem, that's what it's saying now. So you can see between the first B and little, then the two words joined together. So when you put a space where it should not be, it affects the interpretation people give to what you have written. So you have to be very careful. Let's look at maybe two more examples. The first one here again is I'll give you a gain. You're saying a profit. I will give you a gain. The other one is I'll give you a gain. A repeat. That I will repeat it. I will give you again. Maybe a slap. Give you again. The first one is talking about a profit. The second one is talking about a repeat performance. So please check carefully how you apply space in what you write. And finally, look at the sentence so that you understand what we mean by wrong interpretation. This person intends to say, make it in form of a letter. That is, make it as a type of a letter. The person has written in form. I've put in as the correct form that the person should have written in, separate from form, while a space is in between. And the second sentence, please inform him of the happening. That is, tell him. And that should be one word. You can see the misinterpretation and the message that is wrong that is being forwarded and being taken because of the misuse of space. So, my dear students, please, when you write, make good use of the space in whatever it is you write. The students, we can see how meaningful and useful space is in writing. If space is not appropriately used, therefore, a writer may misinform or not communicate at all. Thank you for having listened. for having spared me this time. Hope that we'll meet again next time. Have a blessed day.